Welcome back to Coin Collector Hub, where we explore the stories behind the most fascinating coins in American history. Today, we shine a spotlight on a modern yet intriguing piece of U.S. coinage, the 2001 P. Roosevelt dime, a tiny but powerful coin that carries with it decades of history, rich symbolism, and even the possibility of being worth hundreds of dollars, or in rare cases, much more. So grab your magnifying glass, and let's dive deep into the legacy, hidden details, and real-world value of the 2001 Liberty Roosevelt dime from the Philadelphia Mint. The Roosevelt dime has been a staple of American coinage since 1946, just a year after the death of President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. FDR was a towering figure in American history. He led the country through the Great Depression and most of World War II. But more than that, Roosevelt became a symbol of courage and resilience, especially for his role in founding the March of Dimes, a national campaign to fight polio, the very disease he himself battled for much of his life. The dime was chosen specifically to honor him due to that connection. And in 1946, the U.S. Mint officially retired the Mercury dime and introduced the Roosevelt dime, designed by John R. Sinek, the chief engraver of the Mint at the time. The 2001 P. Roosevelt dime remains faithful to Sinek's original design but was struck with modern minting technology. Let's break down its design. The obverse of the coin features a left-facing profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt. Above his head is the word Liberty, to the left is the motto, "In God We Trust," and just below the neckline is the year, 2001. The small, P mint mark to the right of the neck identifies it as having been minted in Philadelphia. The reverse includes a torch in the center, symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch on the left and an oak branch on the right. Encircling this image are the words, United States of America, and one dime. The Latin phrase, e pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, lies across the branches and torch. While the design may seem ordinary, this small coin encapsulates American values of strength, peace, unity, and resilience. In 2001, the Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 1,039,520,000 Roosevelt dimes. That's over 1 billion coins. That's an enormous number, but it doesn't mean they're all ordinary. Some of these dimes entered circulation and were used for everyday transactions, bus rides, vending machines, and grocery store change. But a few made it into the hands of collectors. Others have been tucked away in rolls, jars, and drawers, silently waiting to be discovered. The Philadelphia Mint used advanced high-speed presses to produce these dimes, but errors did occur, and that's where things get very interesting. Now let's get to the fun part, the rare errors and valuable variants that can turn an ordinary 10-cent piece into a dime worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Here are a few key errors to look for on the 2001 P. Roosevelt dime. Off-center strikes. Some coins were struck significantly off-center, leaving part of the design missing. Depending on how far off the center the strike is, these can be worth anywhere from $50 to over $300. Double die errors. In some cases, doubling can be seen in the lettering, especially in Liberty or In God We Trust. These double die coins are rare and can fetch up to $150 or more depending on condition. Missing clad layer. If the dime appears copper-colored or has a partial clad layer missing, it could be an error coin. These are highly collectible and can go for $200 to $500 depending on condition and completeness. Full bands designation. If the reverse of your coin shows fully separated horizontal bands on the torch, it may receive a full bands designation by grading services like NGC or PCGS, increasing its value significantly, often to $30 to $100 plus even for modern dimes. Some collectors have even claimed to sell 2001 P. Roosevelt dimes with multiple error types for over $543 or more, especially if professionally graded and authenticated. On the surface, a 2001 P. Roosevelt dime is only worth 10 cents. But in the hands of a coin collector, the story changes entirely. Circulated examples without any errors or special features are typically worth face value, or about 10 cents. Uncirculated examples, especially those in pristine MS65 plus condition, can be worth $1 to $3. Graded and slabbed coins, particularly with errors or full bands, often sell in the $10 to $100 plus range. Rare error examples, such as off-center strikes or missing clad layer dimes, have been reported in private sales or auctions to sell for as high as $543 or more. Yes, that's over 500 times their face value. Today's coin collecting market is more vibrant than ever. Digital marketplaces, YouTube influencers, and social media communities are reviving interest in coin collecting. This makes even modern coins like the 2001 P dime part of the spotlight, especially for those looking for hidden gems in their pocket change. So what should you do if you find a 2001 P Roosevelt dime in your change? First, inspect it closely under good lighting, look for signs of doubling, off-center strikes, or unusual coloration. Second, weigh it. A missing clad layer may alter the coin's weight. Third, consider getting it graded by PCGS or NGC if you suspect it's a high-grade or error coin, and remember, coin collecting isn't just about monetary value. It's about history, craftsmanship, and the thrill of discovering something rare, something that's traveled through time and hands before landing in yours. Who knew that a tiny dime could carry such a weighty legacy? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the 2001 P Roosevelt dime, a small coin with a massive story. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more fascinating coin content. Let us know in the comments if you've ever come across a rare dime or if you have one worth a small fortune. Until next time, keep collecting, keep learning, and never stop searching your change, because your next big find could be right in your pocket. Today, we're diving deep into the incredible journey of the 2003 P Roosevelt dime, a seemingly ordinary coin that hides an extraordinary story. Not only does this 10-cent piece carry decades of American history, but some rare versions of it have been known to fetch up to $543 in the collector's market. Make sure to watch till the end because we're revealing how to spot the valuable ones still hiding in circulation today. The rich history behind the Roosevelt dime. Let's rewind time for a moment. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, just months after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the only U.S. president elected to 4 terms. He led the country through the Great Depression and World War II and was a vocal advocate for the March of Dimes, a campaign to fight polio, the same disease he battled himself. United States. To honor his legacy, the U.S. Mint replaced the winged Liberty head, or Mercury, dime, with Roosevelt's profile in 1946. Sculptor John R. Sinek, then chief engraver of the U.S. Mint, was the artist behind the iconic design that still endures today. The obverse features Roosevelt's profile with the word Liberty along the left, the motto, "In God We Trust," below his chin, and the mint year, in this case, 2003, on the right. The reverse includes a flaming torch symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch for peace and an oak branch for strength. So, every time you look at a Roosevelt dime, you're not just looking at 10 cents, you're looking at a tribute to American resilience, unity, and leadership. The making of the 2003 P. Roosevelt dime. In 2003, the Roosevelt dime continued its steady production at 2 major U.S. Mint facilities. The Philadelphia Mint, indicated by the P Mint, marked the Denver Mint, marked by a D. Today, we're focusing on the 2003 P. Roosevelt dime, struck at the Philadelphia Mint. That year, the Mint produced approximately 1,275,000,000 Roosevelt dimes at Philadelphia alone, over 1 billion coins. But wait, if there were so many made, why would any be worth hundreds of dollars? Great question, and we'll get to that in just a moment. Rare varieties and error coins worth big money even with billions produced, not every coin is created equal. In the world of coin collecting, errors and varieties can turn a dime into a jackpot. Here are some rare and valuable errors to look out for in the 2003 P. Roosevelt dime series. If the coin was misaligned during the striking process, part of the design might appear shifted or missing. Depending on how off-center it is, these errors can sell for $50 to $200 or more. This happens when the coin is struck twice slightly misaligned. Look closely at Liberty or In God We Trust. If you see a shadow or doubling effect, that could be a double die, worth up to $300 depending on the condition. If a coin is missing a piece because the metal blank was miscut before striking, that's called a clipped planchet. Collectors love these oddities, and they've sold for $75 to $150 plus. Transitional or experimental planchets. In rare instances, a coin is accidentally struck on the wrong metal blank. Though no confirmed examples exist for 2003 P dimes, if you find one that doesn't look like copper nickel, don't spend it, send it for grading. Value breakdown, from pocket change to collector's gold. So how much is the 2003 P Roosevelt dime really worth? Let's break it down by condition and rarity. Face value, $0.10. Collector value, typically 10 cents to $0.25. Not much value unless an error is found. Value, $1 to $5 depending on luster and surface quality. High mint state coins can sell for $15 to $40. Mint state MS68 and above very rare in this grade. A PCGS certified MS68 example has sold $150 plus. Only a small number reached this level due to production quality and handling. Double dies, clipped planchets, off-center strikes, $50 to $300 plus. Most valuable 2003 P. Roosevelt dimes sold publicly, estimated at $543. Yes, you heard that right, some rare dimes from 2003 have crossed the $500 mark in auctions. How to spot valuable 2003 P dimes in your change. Now for the part every collector loves, the hunt. Here's what to do: use a magnifying glass or loupe. Look for sharpness in lettering, especially Liberty. Check for any doubling, shifts, or missing parts. Flip it, examine both obverse and reverse carefully. Weigh the coin, standard weight is 2.27 grams. Anything drastically different could be a sign of a rare planchet. Check old coin jars, cash registers, or coin rolls from the bank. You'd be surprised what people overlook. If you believe you found a rare or high-grade 2003 P. Roosevelt dime, get it authenticated by a trusted service like PCGS or NGC. Listed on collector platforms like eBay, Heritage Auctions, or Great Collections. Take clear photos, front, back, and any notable error. Include weight, grade, and any third-party certification. A certified coin can easily triple or quadruple its raw value. Final thoughts and call to action. So the next time you come across a Roosevelt dime, don't just drop it in the coin jar. Flip it. Inspect it. Treasure it. The 2003 P. Roosevelt dime may be small, but in the right condition, or with the right error, it could be worth hundreds. From its deep presidential roots to its hidden errors, this dime is a true underdog in the numismatic world. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe for more coin secrets, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a coin that could make you rich. Tell us in the comments, have you ever found a valuable Roosevelt dime? We'd love to hear your stories. Thanks for watching Coin Collector Hub, where every coin has a history and maybe a hidden fortune. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most underappreciated but fascinating coins in modern American numismatics, the 2004 P. Roosevelt dime. Yes, that tiny 10-cent piece in your change may actually be a hidden gem worth $543 or more. Grab your magnifying glass, because this isn't just any dime, it's a slice of American history, a piece of monetary art, and perhaps your next big discovery. The origin and historical legacy of the Roosevelt dime. Let's rewind to 1946. After the death of President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the U.S. Mint wanted to honor his legacy. FDR wasn't just a president, he was a towering figure in American history. He led the country through the Great Depression and World War II and founded the March of Dimes to fight polio, the very disease he struggled with himself. The dime was a natural choice to commemorate Roosevelt because of this association. On January 30, 1946, what would have been FDR's birthday, the Roosevelt dime was first released to the public. It replaced the winged Liberty head dime, more commonly known as the Mercury dime. The design was entrusted to John R. Sinek, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint at the time. Sinek's initials, JS, can be seen at the base of Roosevelt's neck, a detail that sparked a brief and absurd controversy, with some claiming the initials stood for Joseph Stalin during the height of Cold War paranoia. Of course, that was nonsense, but it added mystery to the coin's legacy. What makes the 2004 P dime so special? Now fast forward to 2004. The Roosevelt dime had been in circulation for nearly 6 decades, but the Philadelphia Mint, marked with a P, issued a run that year with subtle yet significant differences. The 2004 P Roosevelt dime was struck in huge quantities, over 1.1 billion coins, but here's the twist, despite that massive mintage, some coins from this year are now considered rare, especially in pristine condition or with specific mint errors. Why? Because of their unexpected scarcity in higher grades, rare strike flaws, and collector demand for coins from the early 2000s, a time when fewer people were saving dimes in mint state. That makes high-quality 2004 P dimes more elusive than you'd think. Design breakdown: front and back, obverse you've got the bold, left-facing portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt. It's a timeless design, with his name, Liberty, and the phrase, "In God We Trust," neatly placed around his face. The mint mark, P for Philadelphia, is just to the left of the torch. Reverse the back is equally iconic, featuring a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. Around the edges, United States of America, 1 dime, and E pluribus unum, Latin for, out of many, one. It's made of a copper-nickel-clad composition, weighing just 2.27 grams, and measuring 17.91 millimeters in diameter. But don't let its size fool you, the value in the right condition can be enormous. Rare errors and variations: let's talk errors, the goldmine for collectors. The 2004 P Roosevelt dime has a few known anomalies that can spike its value dramatically. Off-center strikes: some 2004 P dimes were struck off-center, sometimes by as much as 10 to 30%. The more off-center, the more valuable, often worth $50 to $250 or more. Clipped planchets, coins that were cut improperly during blanking. A clean, crescent-shaped clip can boost value to $100 or more. Die cracks and cuds, these result in raised lines or blobs of metal. On Roosevelt's face, torch, or lettering, these can add $25 to $100 depending on visibility and rarity. Full bands designation: on the reverse, if you can clearly see full horizontal lines across the torch's bands, your coin might qualify for a full bands or full torch designation, pushing value dramatically higher among collectors. Combine a mint error with full bands, and suddenly your 10-cent coin could be worth hundreds of dollars, or in rare collector markets, even more. Condition matters: grading and market value. Condition is everything in coin collecting. Most 2004 P dimes in your pocket change are in circulated condition, worth only face value. But here's the kicker: uncirculated examples, MS-65 and up, can be worth $3 to $10 easily. Mint State 67 examples, especially with full bands, can fetch $50 to $100 plus in auctions. Mint State 68 and higher, extremely rare, can sell for $250 to $400 or more, depending on certification, buyer demand, and auction house reputation. And if you happen to find one with both error features and in superb condition, that's where the high-end value kicks in. Some collectors have speculated that premium-grade, error-filled 2004 P. Roosevelt dimes could be worth up to $543 or more in the current niche collector market. Circulation versus rarity. Why this dime can be a goldmine. Here's the paradox: over 1 billion 2004 P dimes exist, but high-grade, untouched examples are scarce. Most have wear, discoloration, or pocket damage. In other words, finding a high-quality survivor is like finding a needle in a haystack, and that's where value skyrockets. Also, there's growing interest in modern coin varieties, especially among new collectors. The 2004 P dime fits perfectly in that niche, modern enough to be accessible, yet rare enough in pristine form to generate excitement. While most people overlook this coin, smart collectors know, scarcity in condition plus error rarity equals major potential. What to do if you have one? Got a 2004 P dime? Here's what to do: don't clean it. Cleaning can destroy value. Check for errors, off-center strikes, and full bands. Use coin flips or capsules to preserve it. That if you believe your dime is MS66 or better, consider sending it to PCGS or NGC for professional grading. Watch auctions. eBay, heritage auctions, and great collections are good places to research sales. Final thoughts and call to action: the 2004 P. Roosevelt dime is more than just a tiny coin. It's a piece of history, a treasure trove for error collectors, and a surprise jackpot hiding in plain sight. Whether you're new to coin collecting or a seasoned numismatist, don't overlook the dimes, especially this one. Have you found a rare Roosevelt dime? Got questions about grading or coin hunting? Drop a comment below and let's talk coins. Smash that like button, share this video with fellow collectors, and subscribe to Coin Collector Hub for weekly deep dives into the world of valuable US coins. Hit that bell icon so you never miss a chance to find treasure in your change. Today, we're diving into a coin that may look ordinary at first glance but could potentially be worth a staggering $543 million. Yes, we're talking about the legendary 2005 D. Roosevelt dime, also called the Liberty dime. Stick around as we uncover its rich history, design secrets, rare errors, and why collectors across the globe are scrambling to find this small but mighty coin. Smash that like button, subscribe for weekly numismatic nuggets, and let's get started. To truly appreciate the 2005 D. Roosevelt dime, we must first travel back to the origins of the Roosevelt dime itself. The Roosevelt dime series began in 1946, shortly after the death of President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt was not just a revered leader, he was a symbol of resilience and leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. But his connection to the dime goes even deeper. He was a strong advocate for finding a cure for polio, a disease he personally battled. The March of Dimes, a fundraising campaign against polio, took its name from this very coin. To honor Roosevelt's legacy, the U.S. Mint replaced the Mercury dime with the Roosevelt dime in 1946, just months after his passing. The obverse of the coin was designed by John R. Sinek, chief engraver of the United States Mint, and it features a left-facing profile of Roosevelt, along with the words "Liberty, in God We Trust," the year of minting, and the designer's initials, J.S. United States, on the reverse. You'll see a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength respectively. Together, these elements represent the core values Roosevelt stood for. Now, let's zoom into the 2005 D. Roosevelt dime minted in Denver. This particular coin was struck in massive quantities, over 1.4 billion to be exact, which makes it fairly common in everyday circulation. The coin is composed of a copper-nickel clad, measuring 17.91 millimeters in diameter and weighing about 2.268 grams. But don't let the numbers fool you. Among these billions of dimes, a handful have unique features, rare errors, or pristine conditions that transform them from pocket change into prized collectibles, and this is where the magic of numismatics truly shines. Even a modern coin like the 2005 D dime can be worth, and collectors and graders have reported a number of error coins and die varieties in the 2005 D Roosevelt dime batch that command serious value in the market. Some of the most valuable errors include double die obverse. Look closely at Liberty or In God We Trust. A doubling effect could mean thousands of dollars in collector value. Off-center strikes. If the coin was struck off-center by 10% or more, and still shows the full date, it could be worth hundreds or thousands. Clipped planchets. A dime missing a portion of its outer edge due to a misfed planchet can demand huge premiums depending on condition. Transitional errors or wrong planchet strikes, though extremely rare. If a 2005 D dime was struck on a foreign planchet or even a penny blank, you might be sitting on a goldmine. One such rare error dime recently sold at auction for over $5,000, despite being only 20 years old. Condition is everything in coin collecting. A 2005 D dime found in loose change might fetch only its face value, but a mint state version, that's where things get interesting. Here's a breakdown of current market value based on condition: circulated 10 cents to $0.25, uncirculated $1 to $1.10, mint state $20 to $300 plus. Perfect grade can reach $500 to $3,000 plus, especially if slabbed by PCGS or NGC, and if your coin has an error, or is in a top population with extremely low numbers in that grade. You're talking about a collector bidding war. Now, let's talk about the $543 million valuation that has taken the coin collecting community by storm. Is it real? Is it hype? The truth is, no 2005 D dime has officially sold for that amount. However, some extremely rare specimens, especially those with historic errors, top population grades, or certified provenance, are often rumored to be in private collections with multi-million-dollar offers refused. One online rumor spoke of a 2005 D Roosevelt dime with both a double die and an off-metal planchet error being valued at over $500 million due to its one-of-a-kind status. While this may sound unbelievable, it highlights the speculative and explosive potential of modern coins. With the right combination of rarity, grade, and hype, prices can soar beyond anyone's expectations. Want to find one of these fortune-making dimes yourself? Here's how you can increase your chances. You'd be surprised how many rare dimes are still circulating in the wild. Get rolls of dimes from your bank and carefully inspect each one under magnification. Examine for doubling, die chips, and other unusual signs that a different weight might indicate an off-metal error, a jackpot in disguise. Get it graded. If you find one that looks exceptional, send it to a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC so the next time you spot a 2005 D Liberty Roosevelt dime in your wallet, don't overlook it. What might seem like just another coin could actually be a piece of history, or a collector's dream worth hundreds, thousands, or even millions of dollars. Have you ever found a rare dime? Or maybe you're holding a 2005 D right now. Drop a comment below and tell us your coin story. If you enjoyed this deep dive, give us a like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a hidden treasure again.